And because we'll be moving a little bit more today, let's have those feet pedaling at the same time as you bring those arms back down, and then you're going backwards. Same thing, nice and small to start us off, making those bigger as we go along. As you guys are bringing it back nice and small, you're giving me those hamstrings and that chest opener. With that, guys, take it into butt kicks. And either high knees or marches. Aaron, good to see you in. Aaron, today we should be able to get it by with mostly heavyweights, but we can have some medium weights next to us. Let's give me some squats, guys. But yeah, heavyweights for most of any strength components should be fine. If you want some medium weights, just in case you get a little fatigued, that's okay too. At the top of the squats, start giving me some calf raises. And then giving me those hip flexors, lunges, or just a nice Spider-Man stretch if we don't want to do lunges. Holding that Spider-Man stretch for about 5 to 6 seconds. Otherwise, if we're doing those lunges, they can be pretty normal speed, but let's also throw in some nice slow ones that's going to help eccentrically stretch the hip flexor in the back as if we were doing a Spider-Man stretch as well. Right there, guys, you're spreading out those legs a little bit. You're giving me those side shuffles. They can almost be like feet planted side lunges, just off to the sides, focusing just on that stretch. But if we're getting down nice and low, we're focusing on those glutes at the same time. And then, guys, you're giving me those hip openers. And same thing, but opposite direction, outside to in now. Right there, guys, go ahead, break. Grab a little bit of water if you need it. Continue to shake it out in case you're a little bit tight some places. So you'll wake up some of that body. That's more than okay. Like I said before, we have a circus class today, so it's going pod activities. Each pod will have 4 activities. Each activity about 40 seconds. Continuing, our first activity, we're going to get started in just a second, will be squats into jumping jacks, into side lunges, into shoulder press. Again, we're running through those quick transitions in between those two for a break. If we want with those squats, we can have some weights. But guys, we're going to get started with that in about 10 seconds here. If we're going for weights or if we're holding weights, I want it to be under control. If it's just body weight, let's see if we can't go for reps. But we're starting in 2 and 1. Go ahead. Yeah, hips, knees. Oh, because we just did them with, yeah. All Actually, if we have stiffness, great time to take those squats slow, even if we don't have weights. Start getting that blood flow going, get those eccentric strength training motions, and it's going to help us loosen up a little bit more, especially for the rest of the class. We're pressing through the heels, guys, extending at the hips, utilizing those glutes. We're going to be transitioning to those jumping jacks in 3, 2, and 1. I want us right in there, you guys. Jumping jacks, if we don't want to do those, we're stepping out to the side, reaching high off to the other diagonal. Halfway with those jumping jacks, again, trying to go for reps with anything that's pretty much just body weight today, guys. You can try to go a little bit faster at any time, or you can keep it nice and slow, constant as we're building up through the rest of the class. In about 5 seconds, we're going over to those side lunges. 2 and 1. You can have those feet planted, shifting over. If you have enough room at home, feel more than welcome to go over and keep those dynamic going. But the same rule always applies. I want us to put as much pressure through our heel as we're coming back up so we can activate those glutes, stay off those quads as much as we might have if our feet were a little bit more forward. Lori, good to see you. Sorry, I just missed you, but we're doing mainly heavy weights. For everything else will be pretty much body weight. Feel free to have some medium weights next to you. 2 and 1. Guys, I want you to go ahead, grab those heavy weights here to start us off. We're starting shoulder presses in 3, 2, and 1. Go ahead. If we find ourselves overarching that back, as always, let's put one foot just in front of the other. That just stabilizes our spine a little bit. We don't have to worry about any low back pain, any pinching of the muscles or nerves back there. Five, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Guys, go ahead, rest those right there. You got a little bit of time here. Grab some water as I'm explaining our next set of activities. From here, we're going to ramp it up a little bit more. We got squat jumps, inchworms, skaters, and wall sits. So those squat jumps, you're either doing jumps, land, or we're pulsing at the bottom, calf raise, pulsing at the bottom, calf raise. We've done inchworms before. That's when we're at the bottom of our mat, bending over, and we're walking it on out. Skaters and wall sits, we've done those before. So we're going to start off with those squat jumps, starting here in 3, 2, and 1. Again, we're either jumping, catching on those knees, making sure they're not stiff. And if we're not doing those, pulse at the bottom, calf raise at the top, trying to get as much of that movement going as possible. When we're jumping, we might feel a little bit more pressure on our toes. That's going to put more quad in, but that's okay because that's where we're getting our spring from. If we're still doing those squats on the ground, still trying to keep that pressure through those heels. Transitioning on to inchworms in 3, 2, and 1. Guys, right there, almost like a hamstring bend over, walking it out, doing a push-up at the bottom, optional, and then walking back up. But we're on the clock for those, you guys. Really enjoying that hamstring stretch. You can choose to come all the way back up at the top, or while you're hinged over, feel free to just get right into the next rep. That's going to keep tension on us maximally. You guys are still going 10 more seconds, and then we're moving on over to skaters here. 3, 2, and 1. Go ahead, start in right there, guys. Same as always, try to get that balance first. As you get more comfortable, you can increase distance or the speed in order to make that a little bit more challenging for us at home. Ten seconds, and we're going to transition over to our wall. Feel free to bring weights with you. This is when we have the wall set. In 3, 2, stop right there, guys. Weights optional. Finding that wall. We're going to start. We're going to go down first. Then I'll say go. Go down ahead. Get those knees to parallel, and we are beginning right there, you guys. If we have any weights, go ahead. We can hold them out in front like a steering wheel, or just hold them out right here. That steering wheel is going to get a little bit more of that shoulder action. One thing we want to make sure we're not doing, guys, is still pressing either those weights or those hands into those thighs, and making sure, of course, that we are still pressing through the heels, that our knees aren't too far out above our toes. Ten seconds, guys. 10 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Come on up, guys. Feel free, grab another bit of water as I'm explaining our next set of exercises here. What we have is we're going to have a row. From that row, we're going to stay pretty much in this stagger stance. And we got split squats. We're going to do one side and then the other. And from there, guys, we have some windmills. We're going to start off with those rows. These are heavyweight weighted rows. We'll be getting those in 3, 2, and begin. Pinching that shoulder blade, driving those elbows up towards the sky, activating that nice large muscle in our upper back, those lats, as well as activating those biceps and a little bit of those triceps towards the top of our back shoulder. Everyone's going to be holding in 3, 2, hold at the top, guys. Hold at the top for me. While we're holding here, I want us to focus on really pinching those shoulder blades back as much as we're thinking about driving those elbows up towards the sky. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Right there, guys, a little bit of transition time here. 2 options. We're either doing this staggered split squat stance. If we're not quite comfortable with that, one option we have is single leg RDL, where that knee is almost straight, not perfectly. Obviously, a slight bend is okay. And if we're not even comfortable with that, we can do this, but we'll have 2 sets for those who need to switch legs. Starting there, guys, in 3, 2, and 1. So if we're doing the split squat, we're one leg in front the whole time, go until that knee just about touches the ground, pressure through that front heel at all point, trying to keep that pelvis and torso neutral, almost always pointing up to the sky. If we get a little bit of a bend forward, that's okay. If we ever start to feel it in that back leg, that's okay. That just means our hip flexors are getting a nice little stretch in there. Take it slower on that down portion. That's going to help positively stretch that muscle rather than strain it too much. Switching leg in 3, 2, and begin with that other leg, guys. And yeah, if you're doing those RDLs, you're switching those legs over. If we're doing dual legged, we're just restarting that second set. Halfway there, and you guys, those of us on those split squats might be feeling a little bit more tired on that second set. That's because both of those legs were working that previous set. But we're done there in 4, 3, 2, and 1. We're losing the weights, guys. Spreading those legs, arms out wide, and you're giving me windmills right now. Feel free to start these ones a little slower, and I feel you can crank up the speed as comfortable. Again, almost like those RDLs, we're utilizing those hamstrings and those glutes as our sensor points to those end range of motions. So once we feel that stretch, we don't want to go too far beyond that. We want to know what that range of motion is first by starting slow. And then if we feel we are able to speed up a little bit without putting that hamstring in too much of a risk, that's okay for us to do that at home. Three, 2, and right there, guys. Relax. Go ahead, grab us some water. We got a nice little break here for a moment. While we're grabbing that water, as always throughout class, make sure we're still pacing a little bit here at home. We don't want to stop straight in our tracks and let blood start pooling. So let's keep those feet moving. Let's keep that calf and those dorsiflexors activated so blood continues to travel up towards our heart. Guys, this is when we might make use of any medium weights that we had before. In a couple moments, we're just gonna be off bicep curls. If we can do heavy weights with those, let's recommend that. But if we need those medium weights, that's okay, because it is just one joint for us working right there. But we'll be starting that in 4, 3, 2, 1. Another great time to have that staggered stance, because we don't want to get much movement or any movement from anything outside of our elbow joint. We want our shoulder to stay neutral, hips to stay neutral, knees and toes. And if we're in this position and we find ourselves leaning a little bit, great time to put that stagger stance into use. Oh, I forgot to mention our other activities for this one, guys. We'll be going into a pullover down on the mat, staying down there. We'll have a glute kick out, and then ending that with mountain climbers for this set. We'll be transitioning in 3, 2, and 1. Everyone make our way down to the mat. Like I just said, we got pullovers, hands start up top. 3, 2, and begin with those pullovers. Ten seconds left on these guys, and then I'm going to demo those glute kickouts. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Guys, what these are going to look like is we're going to have a normal glute bridge, both legs up. Then you put one leg out, replace it, one leg out, come back down, and restart that cycle. That'll be our next activity, starting in 4, 3, 2, and begin. Glute bridge up, one leg straight out, back down, other leg out, back down. Return those hips down. Normal glute bridge, kick out, glute bridge. While we're doing those glute bridges, try to get as high as we can with both legs first. Then as we're kicking out, try not to let those hips sink or rotate over to that off side. Really trying to activate all 3 of our glutes in order to keep our body, our hips, and our torso, that core, the full torso, stable during that transition. And break right there, guys. Rotating on over. And we have mountain climbers facing down right here. Starting those in 3, 2, and 1. Go ahead, mountain climbers. 3, 2, and 1. Break right there, guys. Grab a water. Last pod here, we have push-ups, bicycles, flutter clicks into a bird dog, and hopefully we have enough time. We're going to throw a plank in there as well, again, so we can protect that entire 360-degree angle of that spine. We'll be on the ground here, guys, in just a moment, taking off of those water breaks here. Again, starting off with push-ups. I'll have us starting here in 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. We can start wherever we need to, whether that's full push-up, on our knees. And if we ever at any point start struggling, once we're down to our knees, maybe we don't have much energy, let's just go up to the top, focus on a controlled negative, about 4 to 6 seconds down, cheat our way back up, and then reset. Again, that cheat off can maybe look like a little bit of a worm dance, just helping ourselves out. Five, 4, 3, 2, and 1. You guys are going onto your backs. And we have bicycles starting in 3, 2, and 1. Three, 2, and 1. Let's have everybody putting their hands below their low back and give me those flutter kicks right here, guys. Having those feet about 6 to 8 inches off the ground, nice and low for us. Keeping that pelvis turned up towards us, really trying to work that lower abdominal region right here. Five, 4, 3, 2, and we're going to rotate over, guys. Last 2 for us. Bird dog into a plank. Again, those bird dogs, opposite arm, opposite leg. Oh, you can alternate. Yep. Starting in 3, 2, and begin right there, guys. Straight line between that wrist to that far side ankle, straight through our bodies. We're activating those glutes and those shoulders to bring those legs up, squeezing at the low back as well. One of researchers' favorite low back protectors is this activity right here for us. Ten seconds, and then we rotate right into that plank, you guys. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1 right here on our forearms, guys, and begin right there. Again, that's that straight arm from our shoulders to our hips to our ankles, with our hips maybe a little bit higher than that straight line, trying to squeeze everything towards our spine. That's halfway right there, guys. Halfway right there. Last 10 seconds, let's check that hip position. Make sure we haven't sank too low, gone too high. Really squeeze it in for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Go ahead, break right there, guys. Grab your water. We'll just be up here, guys. Let's fold over at those hips, get a nice hamstring stretch in here to start us off after we get that sip of water if we need one. Right there, let's have you guys slowly extend out of that position, extend that low back first, then at the hips, we'll spread our legs apart, reach down off to our right side. And off to the other. Go ahead, raise ourselves up right there. Give me one arm over. Nice tricep stretch here. I know we can do it, but we have the mic in our way a little bit. Then from there, guys, I want you to take it and lean on over, creating more of a lat stretch for us as well. And release there. Give me the same thing on that other side. Nice tricep stretch first. You guys can relax there. Let's give me a nice chest stretch on a wall. If we don't have a wall at home, we can throw our hands behind our back and try to pull up for us to stretch that chest a little bit. Otherwise, if we have a wall or just a beam, a pole, anything that we can put at least our elbow on to get some traction, that would be awesome. We can stretch out that stretch or stretch out that chest a lot more efficiently. Right there, guys, go ahead, switch for me off to the other side. And from here, guys, come on, take it down with me. Let's do a nice little glute stretch here at the bottom. We're going to put one ankle on top of that opposite knee and pull in that bottom knee for us, focusing on that glute for us, as well as that piriformis muscle a little bit. It's pretty good at attacking that as well. And switch for me right there. And right there, guys, we're going to go ahead, sit up or stand up, however you feel comfortable. We're going to focus on that neck here quickly for us. Taking that chin down to the chest, we're going to stretch the back of our neck. From there, we're going to lift that on up, tilting it on back, stretching the front of our neck. And return to center for me, guys. One ear, same side shoulder. Stretch the side of our neck. Raising it up right there. Same thing, other side for me.